You ever just stop and realize that as we get older, making really good, deep friends feels harder? It's definitely not just you. But here's the good news. Those lifelong friendships we all want, they don't just happen by luck. They're actually built. On purpose. So let's get into it and explore a real, practical guide to building connections that actually last.
Helen Keller wow, she nailed it with this one. At the end of the day, friendships are about having someone to walk with through the good times and the bad. They're so important for our well-being. They act like this buffer against stress, and honestly, they help us grow. But if they're that essential, how do we get better at nurturing them? Okay, here's something that might actually surprise you. When it comes to our social needs, we don't need 100 friends to feel happy. Not even close. Research actually shows that having just 3 to 5 really deep, meaningful relationships, that's enough. That's the sweet spot for boosting our happiness. It's proof that quality, for sure, trumps quantity. And that, right there, is the million-dollar question. Life just gets in the way. Work, family, all these other responsibilities pile up, and those really great friendships can just sort of fade away. But the solution isn't about magically finding more time. It's about being way more intentional with the time we do have. So to help us get intentional, let's use a super simple tool. We're going to call it the friendship pyramid. Just think of it like a blueprint. It shows us step by step how a casual acquaintance can grow into one of those deep, can count on them for anything friendships.
So this pyramid has 3 layers, and they're all essential. The base, the foundation of everything, is positivity. Then, in the middle, we have vulnerability. That's how we build real trust. And right at the top is consistency, which is what makes that bond deep and lasting. We're going to build this thing from the ground up, starting with that all-important foundation.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here. A relationship just can't get off the ground without some positivity. This is the base of the whole pyramid. It's what makes people feel good around you, feel valued, and actually want to hang out with you again. And this foundation is really built on something we can just call likability. But let's be really clear here. This is not about being fake or putting on a show. It's about being authentic. It's about making a conscious choice to let your best, most genuine qualities shine through so that other people feel welcome and seen. So how do we actually do that? Well, it's all about the small stuff. It's asking a follow-up question that shows you are actually listening. It's your body language, uncrossing your arms, making eye contact. It's giving a specific compliment, like not just great job, but I was so impressed by how you handled that. It's celebrating their wins, big or small. Really, it's just about being a kind, positive presence that people want to be around. Okay, so once we've laid that solid foundation of positivity, we can start climbing the pyramid. This is where we get into the stuff that turns a casual friend into a true friend. And those 2 magic ingredients are vulnerability and consistency. But before we get to those top 2 layers, we have to talk about reciprocity. A real friendship isn't a scorecard. It's not about, I did this for you, so you owe me. No way. It's a 2-way street where you both show up for each other when it counts. It's this mutual give and take that makes vulnerability and consistency even possible. And here are the tools to make it happen. Vulnerability. That doesn't mean telling them your deepest, darkest secrets on day one. It just means being willing to share how you're really feeling. And when they share, just listen. Don't jump in with solutions. That's so hard to do, right? Then there's consistency. Instead of a vague, let me know if you need anything, try offering something specific, like, can I bring you guys dinner on Tuesday? It's all about showing up, again and again. And a great way to do that is to learn how they receive care, which leads us to the love languages. You've probably heard of these, right? The 5 love languages are just a simple way to understand how different people feel loved and appreciated. Does your friend light up when you give them a compliment? That's words of affirmation. Or do they feel most cared for when you help them with a project? That's acts of service. Knowing your friend's love language is like having a cheat code to making them feel truly seen. So building a friendship is one thing, but keeping it going through all of life's twists and turns, that's a whole other ballgame. Friendships that last a lifetime have to survive moves, disagreements, new jobs, you name it. So what's the secret to making them that resilient? The key is pretty simple, actually. Lifelong friends put more weight on what connects them than on what separates them. You can see it here. Things like your shared history, your mutual respect, that core emotional bond, those things become way more important than having different political views or living in different cities. When you prioritize what you share, the differences just don't seem as big. Now here's a really beautiful idea that we often forget about, the new-old friendship. This is someone you might have lost touch with years ago, or maybe even someone from your past you didn't even like back then, for reasons you can't even remember anymore. There's this amazing true story that just captures this perfectly. It's about two women who basically disliked each other for 50 years because of some silly college rivalry. But late in life, they reconnected and ended up building this incredibly deep, loving friendship. It's just such a powerful reminder that it is never, ever too late to give friendship another shot. All right, we've talked about the why and the how. Now it's time to get practical. Let's talk about the what. What is the very first, tangible step you can take right now to start building the friendships you really want? First things first, let's just shift our mindset a little bit. A great friendship isn't some prize you win. It's a practice. It's a skill you develop. And just like any skill, it gets stronger with small, consistent effort. It's not about the big, grand gestures. It's about the small, everyday habit of reaching out.
So here's your action plan. And just look at how simple and doable these are. Just pick one person. Send a text that's just a thinking of you or shares a funny memory, not about planning something. Ask a friend to come with you to the grocery store. It's these tiny acts of connection, when you do them over and over, that really build and sustain a friendship.
And that leaves us with one last simple question. This isn't about some big plan for next month or next year. The practice of friendship starts with one small step. So, who will you connect with today?